bets, and they're placing bets on what the technology issue is going to be this evening. So go ahead with whatever it was you were going to say.
Yes, I love our fans. All right, so we are live. I have 8 seconds live. I think we're good. I don't know. We got to wait for a minute for the comments. If you listen to us as the podcast, hopefully this isn't too awkward. I try to edit those before I put them out. So yeah, they are making bets on stuff. I kind of threw a couple of topics in the air. There's been a lot of stuff going on this week, and there's just, frankly, folks, there's a lot of stuff going on with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. There's just a lot of stuff going on. As noticed by Jill with her hat, which looks good, by the way. The hat looks really good tonight. It was a matter of she was really busy today, I was really busy today, and that's just what kind of happened. And you can't hear Jill. So wait. But Jill hasn't said a whole lot there, Dave, who's criticizing my live stream yet again. Jill, they want you to test your audio. That means you actually have to talk.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm actually talking. I can hear myself echoing in the background, so surely all y'all can hear me.
Yeah, I think I just got to turn up I'll turn my speaker up all the way. So try that one more time. Whoa.
I can. Yeah, nobody needs to hear me that loud.
Oh, what happened to Jill? Anytime I do that, I gotta stop pressing buttons. All right, Jill's back. I'm trying to read the I got a lot of stuff going on tonight. Yeah, so Jill is back. There you go. You can hear Jill. Give it a second. I pressed the wrong button. So yeah, there she is. I told you. See, it's all working fine. Thank you, Nebraska Technology. I made it happen. Ha 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 ha. Sounds like background only. Well, you know what, Dave? Yeah, I just have things. Yeah, so yeah, it's a speaker issue. I got to turn it up. I have to turn Jill up, which is a little frightening at times. I got to tell you guys that. Yeah, she's back. All right, so we had a few things this week. I wanted some shout-outs and stuff. I'm kind of rambling here. This is what I do. I ramble for a little bit to make sure everything's going fine. Yeah, see my technique here? We have a new website. Have you checked out the new website? We worked hard on this. The team, Erica, Jill, and I worked hard on this. New website is live. It loads faster on mobile. It's more user-friendly. It's making
it crashed today?
Let's not talk about that. There was a plugin issue that even Erica and I couldn't figure out, and then we finally figured out what it was. The always problem with WordPress is there's a plugin issue, so we fixed that, but it looks good. If you get a chance, go check it out. I really am proud of the website. I thought it was really cool how it all turned out, and we got that done in a week, so that's pretty damn impressive. Other things new this week. There was something got launched last week. It was a Ford Maverick got launched last week. Oh, it was that Tundra teaser, right? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of blew up on people. People were just blah about this Tundra teaser. And I was actually texting back and forth with my friends, and I totally missed the blue on the lettering. Did you see the blue in the lettering? Did you see it? Did you think hybrid?
Hybrid, I did see the blue on the lettering. I didn't, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch their video portion. I was just looking at the image.
Okay.
So I noticed the blue.
And you didn't tell me because?
I didn't think hybrid.
Oh,
I should have thought hybrid, but I mean, especially given the fact that like they're hybriding all the things. But.
Yeah. Okay, Jill just went away for a second. Just pause me. I'm trying to put the comments next to Jill's image. And apparently I can have Jill or I can have comments. Yeah, right. There's that. So, and then the orange looms. So the orange wiring in the back, that they call them the looms, which is the wiring, the wrap on the wiring. The Power Boost has it. F-150 I have outside has it. And what that does is it's larger, high capacity wiring to work with the battery, with the hybrid system, and so that's the giveaway too. So yes, there is, but here's the funny thing with that, is that when I saw the engine cover, all I thought to myself was 3.5 liter V6. That's all I thought. I didn't even think V8, didn't think anything at all. I just thought 3.5 liter V6. We talk about it so much. They're going to take the same Ford technology and put it in a Tundra. That's what's going to happen. But that did lead some questions about if that has better torque, right? So that the Power Boost is better torque, 570 versus whatever the V8 is. And the Coyote is, I don't remember the Coyote number off the top of my head. If that has that much better torque, and as a guy pointed out, that he thinks his fuel economy was the same towing with the EcoBoost versus the V8, which I call BS on. But if the fuel economy is only like 3 or 4 mile per gallon difference when you're towing, is there a business case for a V8 anymore? Dun dun dun. No, I mean, Jill grew up in the Show Me State, and so Jill, or not grew up, but spent a lot of time there. You were well aware of the Country Boy V8 sound truck, right? You're well aware of this thing. So, when you were there and you heard all these big trucks and going down the street, is that era dead?
I don't know that it's dead yet, but I think it's dying. And I was just at the Jeep media preview for the Grand Cherokee L last week, and we were having a conversation about, like, is there going to be a Trackhawk version? They have nothing to announce. But, we were talking about, like, the V8 engine and how there's just this visceral thing that happens, like, when you flip on the engine. And they're like, yeah, electric is faster and cleaner and blah, blah, blah. But it's not the same because it doesn't give you the same feeling when you turn it on. And it's, like you feel it in your bones when you turn on a V8 engine. And I had the Hellcat, the Dodge Durango Hellcat this week. And, I got back and I powered it up and I was just like, yeah, I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss it. But I think it's dying. I do think it's going away.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same thought too. I mean, it's unfortunate that it's going to go away at some point, but it's just emission requirements, CAFE requirements, looking at all technology in these vehicles and how much new tech going into them. You need all that hybrid technology. You need that battery power. You need that bigger alternator. You need that stuff to take care of that stuff. And so I always think about that. So then, there's a lot of rumors right now that Toyota's going to kill the V8. And there won't be a V8 Tundra. And frankly, I have nothing besides my own desire to have a V8 that supports the argument that there will be a V8. like, there's no news out there.
I think there's going to be a V8, but I think it's only going to be in the TRD Pro.
That could be. I mean, so Ford does not have a V8 for their Raptor, but there is conversation about the Raptor R having a V8, right? And people are really kind of pissed off at Ford still for not offering a V8 in the Raptor. I know some people that actually have gone and bought the new Raptor and gone back and bought the old one with the 6.2 liter V8 in it because they want the sound, because it doesn't matter to them that the EcoBoost, high output EcoBoost is faster. Nobody cares. They just want it to sound cool. So I mean that could be the case, and then we'll hear a bunch of belly aching about how if somebody wants a regular cab, 8-foot bed, no technology, just a V8 in it, and I'm like, go on down to the store, to the dealership, or go to your junkyard and get you a 1985 Chevy square body and rebuild it, because that's the only way you're getting that truck back. So this is the other question. So Justin Manson puts this out. He says V8 should stay in trucks. Anything less puts extra stress in the engine, thus reducing the performance, efficiency, and reliability. That's a very interesting point. And Jill and I have done a lot of reliability stories. And what's interesting with the reliability stories in the Ford, you did the F-150, right? Yeah.
I did.
And what you found was interesting was that the EcoBoost actually had less problems than the 5.0 liter V8. It's actually it's common sense would tell you that Justin's right? More parts, more turbos would cause more reliability issues. But in our research, it's been the inverse. I pulled up my lexicon for inverse, and you just didn't even say anything.
Sorry. I was reading Tebow the First comment that before you know it, they'll be at 4 cylinders in full-size trucks. And I'm just like, I think they'll go electric before there's a 4-cylinder.
There is a 4-cylinder.
In a full-size truck?
Yeah, the Silverado 2.7 liter. Isn't it a 4-cylinder? Isn't that turbo?
I don't know.
It's a turbo 4, I believe. Ooh, somebody's in a comment. Somebody gets in the comments. I believe that's a 4, because I think Ford's is a 2.7 liter, but it's a V6. I believe Chevy's is a 4-cylinder.
That could be.
Yeah. Juan is firing up to Google. Gene's got the Google going. They're going to prove me wrong and prove me right. But I believe that's because I thought there was a big difference between the Chevy 2.7 liter and the Ford 2.7 liter. and I believe his number of cylinders. Yeah, Chevy has a 4-cylinder. So there you go, Tebow the first.
Okay.
It has happened. Hell has frozen over, as they like to say. Yeah, sense disturbance in the force. Yeah, the 2.7 liters of four-banger. Yeah. Makes bad V8 LS engine kills EcoBoost. It's a very interesting thing to talk about. Like, so I have a V8 in Swede, the little 283. My 62 truck has a 283 in it, which he'll be doing the parade on Saturday morning. By the way, he's doing the parade for the car show I'm entering him into, and I will always keep a V8 in that. I just always will. I have driven the 2.7 liter in the Ford and in the Chevy. And frankly, I don't notice much difference. There you go.
And I don't think I've ever driven the 2.7 in the Chevy. Before now, I really didn't get a lot of trucks, and I still don't get a lot of trucks because you get the trucks and I get the SUVs. But I always either get the diesel or the V8. At least I have always previously.
They were doing a bunch when they launched new Silverado, and I was at a couple of events with that. So, yeah, you'll be driving more trucks. Newsflash. Which I think it's fun because I think you've learned a lot in the past year. And by the way, everybody give Jill a big congrats. She's been hailing me with a year. It's been a full year since she's joined the team, and it is crazy.
So do you remember the first video that I think it was a live stream that I did with you? And it was in August, and I had a black eye.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so Jill, the first couple of videos we did, she had a black eye. And
I wore sunglasses for like the first couple of videos.
Right, but I had to have her face in a thumbnail, so I believe in a face in the thumbnails. And I'd do some mad Photoshop skills to make sure her eyes matched. I think at one point I was going into her eye and like doing if you guys know, it's a stamp clone tool, and clamping the bottom part of this eye and moving it on this eye. But the thing to remember is that black eye was not anybody's really fault. It was a dog, right?
It was. I got headbutted by, what was it? It was like not an Irish setter, but I think it was like an Irish, it was an Irish something, not an Irish wolfhound, not an Irish setter, but it was an Irish something. But, yeah, I was like petting the big dog, and then I moved to pet the small dog, and the big dog did not like the fact that I diverted my attention and went bam, and I was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna be good. And I think I had that black eye for a month.
Yeah, and you're not a makeup person, so you did not cover it up. You didn't do it. You just wore sunglasses.
Yeah, and it was very funny because whenever my husband and I would go out to a restaurant, the waiters would hover, and they'd be like, Are you okay? And I'm like, everything's fine. I got headbutted by a dog, and I'm like, I just need to. I'm headbutted by a dog.
Yeah, I can do a live stream while I'm at the show. I'm going to be there for 6 hours with my cooler full of water because I will not be drinking at the show. I'm going to tell you what. It was 106 today. It was 100 degrees yesterday. Those are like 100 degrees tomorrow. And I'm doing everything I can to stay hydrated. I actually bought a new cup. I'll show you. I bought a new 32-ounce Yeti because I have got to stay hydrated. This is insane. I've never seen it that hot. Yeah, I'll live stream the show. I'm looking at the comments here. Carlos is new owner of a 5.6 liter Endurance Titan Pro 4X. V8 sounds beautiful thing. We did a video with my friend here in town, Rob Ackerson. He actually bought a Titan and came from like 6 EcoBoost. The guy buys a truck every year or so. And he just likes the V8 sound. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. And Swede's ready to go. I just need to clean them up tomorrow or Friday. Friday's my day to clean them up and then put that nice sheen on them. It's going to look sheeny. No, apparently you take, it's like 2 parts boiled linseed oil and it's like 1 part mineral oil or something like that. And you mix them together with a cloth and it gets that nice wet patina look on the outside. So you'll be seeing a video on that or Facebooking and stuff, not TikToking. Not going to happen. Paul wants to know, is New Tundra going to be revealed tomorrow to dealers tomorrow? No. No. So here's the thing. Just be patient. Like, really patient. That's what I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. It's I've never seen Toyota do this, and it's irritating to say the least, but they are doing it. So, moving along to V8s. Yeah, so, we talked about V8s and trucks. I believe V8 trucks have a purpose, but I think what's going to happen is half tons. That's why I put that on the half tons. Is going to be V8 going away, I think, at some point. The heavy duties will stay V8 because they do more towing. And frankly, for the price point, you can buy a 3/4 ton for the same price as half ton. So I think half ton is going to change. I think the Maverick, I really do believe this. I think the Maverick is such a game changer in multiple ways. I think the Maverick is going to make changes to the mid-size market. It's going to make changes to the full-size market. And we're going to see all sorts of repercussions. And I think we're going to see, and what Jill's seeing too with some of our articles on the website, is we're going to see a big growth in new people. It's so funny. Read the comments. Read the comments in the Maverick video, and they're like, that bed's bullshit. I can't use that bed. Guys, if you have a problem with the bed and you don't like the styling of it, it's not for you. It's not your truck.
It is not. It is not. Yeah. It's not body on frame. It's got a small bed. I'm taller than the bed.
Yeah.
I'm taller than the bed. Now, it's only by like 4 or 5 inches, but I'm taller than the bed.
All right, so but you have such a great perspective here because you spent time in Missouri, so you can see the Missouri guys, right? They don't understand this truck at all. I'm going to call it pickup because we're not arguing about this. But they don't understand this pickup at all, right? They're confused. But now you're in Chicago, and you get those city boys, and they understand the Maverick, right?
Oh, yeah. I really think they do because what they want is good ride comfort, which, the unibody structure will provide, and it'll be more of an SUV-like ride because, surprise, built on an SUV frame. But, it's smaller. It's going to be easier to park. It will fit in my garage. By the way, the Toyota Sienna that I got today almost did not fit in my garage, which was a surprise. But the Maverick, I think, will fit in my garage. And... But yeah, and that's when you live in an urban environment, you want to be able to parallel park it. You want it to fit in your garage if you have one, which not everybody does.
Right.
But the city streets are narrow. And so you need to be, like, there's one street, a block over that is a 2-way street that should be a 1-way street. And so whenever somebody comes at me, I have to, like, pull over. And it doesn't matter, like, unless I'm in the GTI, I have to, like, pull into... like an empty parking space for the person to go past so that I can keep driving. And there's a lot of those in Chicago. And when you're driving something like a Ram TRX or even a full-size F-150, it does not end well. And you have this, like, you go, no, I'm going. And you're, like, basically faced off. And it's just like, okay, somebody's got to make a move. And I'm like, I'm bigger than you, so I'm moving forward, and you've got to get out of my way.
This is what I find phenomenal about the Maverick. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit details behind the screen. Is that I believe the Maverick is a sedan killer. I don't think it's going to kill the F-150. Because why would you buy a mid-size sedan if you can buy the Maverick, personally? But
I would buy an SUV, but that's just
right.
me.
Yeah, SUV. I think sedans continue to go downhill because of these new products. But this is what I was going to say. Is that I did 2 videos on the Maverick. Jill did, what did you do? 1 or 2 stories? You did a couple stories. So
I think I did 3.
You did 3 stories. Yeah, we had a busy day. We ran like 2 videos, 3 posts. The announcement video of the Maverick got 13,000 views. The How I'd Spec It build and price got 62,000 views.
Oh.
And Jill had the same issue. She had the same with her announcement post. I don't know the numbers, but I know your how it compares to Ford Ranger was like 9,000 views, and I bet you your announcement post like 1,000. So yeah. People didn't come to us for the breaking news of it. They came to us for all the other stuff, which I thought was really interesting. So it's a very interesting truck, very interesting on that point of view on people doing that kind of stuff. And actually, I think a lot of people want to know. People want to buy this thing. All right, so what's the second thing? All right, Jill, what's our second topic? I'm sorry.
Is Chevy falling behind?
Ooh. So this is a little controversial, as most stuff on the show is.
Okay.
My friend Dave, if he's still on here, Dave from Alternate Nation, was talking to me the other day, and we were on Facebook Messenger going back and forth, and he said to me something interesting. He goes, "Where's Chevy at?" He goes, he's trying to build his channel. He's trying to grow out the channel and cover all the brands, right? That's his goal. And he's like, "Where's Chevy? Like, I want to do a Chevy video, but Chevy hasn't released anything at all." And I said, well, Ram's kind of the same thing, but then, Stellantis has the Grand Cherokee going live tomorrow. And I mean, they got stuff going on. They have stuff going on. You could say Ram is being behind, but, it's like, where is Chevy? Like, where's GMC Chevy combo? But, the news I have from them is they pushed off the refresh. They're not doing the refresh this year. They're just trying to get, keep the model year one more year going because they're, having shortages. And I said to Dave, I said, they're too busy plugging their laptops to go ahead and charge them up to get some EV news out to us, is what I said. Because, they're so EV focused that they were, I think the news today was they're going to put $32 billion investment into EV and autonomous vehicle development.
Mm-hmm.
And I just find this whole thing fascinating that, you've obviously spent a lot more time in trucks in the last year than you have in years past. But you can even see it, right? You can see where, brands like Ford are investing a lot of money into trucks, and Ram's doing, keeping their stuff going with their older Classic. But Toyota's doing a new truck. They're really putting things out there. Nissan's got a new Frontier. But Chevy's like nothing.
Yeah, the Bolt EUV.
Yeah, which we...
That's what they've done.
Yeah, they've
done the Bolt EUV.
We had to discuss whether that was going to be an SUV we're going to cover or not. That was our discussion. Because I don't know. It's a... I don't know what it is.
I think we have to cover it. We looked at the ID4. So, I definitely think it's something that we have to look at, even if it's only a comparison to the ID4. But yeah, and I don't even know if that's in media fleets yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. So my West Coast PR rep, he's got a Colorado and he drives a Corvette. The guy's, he's single. And so, he has lots of photos of stuff he's playing around with his toys with, because they're great, But, as Elliot points out, that it's been all EV products. And, you're right. I don't really care a lot about all the EV news because I'm waiting for something to actually be substantial. Something I actually report on, like the Lightning or something that actually can make some news versus solid, the solid state battery stuff. I read a lot of stuff. But I just thought it was interesting. I was like, have we forgot the Hummer? No, I haven't forgot the Hummer because the Hummer hasn't still... They're doing nothing with it. I guess that's my point, is that, Toyota's doing slow leaks, or teasers, right, moving forward. And Ford's continually putting out new product. And GMC's sitting back in the Hummer going, this is it. This is what we got this year. And it's just, that's the feeling I have. I don't know about you, but that's the feeling I'm getting from them.
Yeah, and the fact that, we don't see a model until 2023?
Yeah.
It was
we're not going to actually, we're not going to drive it. We're not going to talk about it for another, 2 years?
Yeah.
It's like, the time is now. COVID changed things a lot. People working from home. People are going to start buying trucks to drive from home. They want to camp. They want to do stuff. The time is now. This is it. And so I'm just I just wonder about this stuff. Where are they? And my dad was a GM engineer for years. I have a Chevy outside. I have a Ford outside. I have a Mazda in the garage. Don't give me this bias stuff. But, it's I've driven all these things, and I'm still where are they myself? The GMC Sierra I had last had the Carbon Pro bed. That was their base innovation, which I'm a huge fan of Carbon Pro. I think Carbon Pro is the future for most trucks, but that's it. I don't know. I was surprised. I'm still kind of surprised. I'm hearing nothing, crickets from my Chevy PR friends. They're not even announcing anything. They got nothing going on. It's interesting. For such a big truck and SUV market, nothing going on is not good for them.
Yeah,
and
that would be true.
And I just drove the Trailblazer, and that video is going live tomorrow. And I think I said the Trailblazer is fine, like 9 times. I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. So this truck comes out this fall, SUV in 2023. Okay, so maybe the GMC Hummer will do something in this fall. Maybe, I don't know. To me, it's $112,000, 100 whatever. It's just crazy.
Well, yeah, the first edition or whatever it is they're calling it is 100, and that's the first vehicle that's coming out, and I think there's a limited amount of those.
Yeah. John wants to know any update on when the Bronco will join the fleet list. So the Bronco is just starting to go production, and our fellow journalist Jordan Golson is covering the Bronco for us next week in Texas. We had a snafu with Ford's PR team, and we did not get invited. It wasn't their fault. It just, we didn't get it on the list as you would. A new person took over who I know really well, and I can guarantee you from now on we will be on every Ford Bronco SUV invite list. We'll be at the top of the list because she's really good friends of mine. So yeah, so no problem there, nothing negative. But Jordan, who is similar in size to me, who has a lot more cameras than I do, will be doing it in Texas. We've been discussing stuff on text messaging. So Jordan is very excited to bring you guys the Ford Bronco in a couple weeks. He's very excited for that, and I hope you guys give him some love because he wants to do more for the channel. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. Well, let's see.
Assume that it will come out into press fleets like a month after that.
Yeah, so let's say the timing. So let's say June. I think June 20th. I think it's next week. Yeah, next week is the media drive, and so it'll be in fleets in July, which means Jill and I would probably get it in September-ish, August, September-ish. We're a little low on the list.
Speak for yourself. I'm higher on the list in Chicago.
That's because she's got really sharp elbows, and she makes her presence known.
And I talk really loud, and I can whistle really loud too.
so whistling loud gets you more vehicles than I get. All right, I'm with you there.
I'm just saying. And I'm, past president of the Midwest Automotive Media Association. People know me.
Yes, whether they want to or not, they are all well aware of Jill.
And I go in trunks. People know that too.
Yes. You're the reason why there's certain trunks that have hatches for the release button, release.
Yeah, the glow in the dark release button.
Yes. So that's what's going on. The Bronco, I'm excited to drive. I thought the Bronco Sport was fine. It was fine. I think we just ran a view.
I liked the Bronco Sport.
I think you would. I think it's no. I'm
like, that was kind of insulting.
No.
Yeah, I think you would like that. I'm just gonna. Yeah, you would like that. What?
We have talked about this before. We have talked about this openly before. That the
are you gonna talk about it being a chick car?
It is. It absolutely is.
Also insult me again. Keep going. Dig that hole.
I'm not. I will tell you that we have a Nissan Armada video coming, and I called her weird, and that was a very funny episode. She responded back to me on that one.
I know. I'm like, is he calling me weird, or is he calling like something else weird? I think he's calling me weird.
I don't know how I ever got that idea.
I'm not weird. You're weird.
I gotta do the chin rub that people like to talk about. I gotta do the chin rub. All right. So somebody said I'm gonna rub my chin off. I'm like, that's not gonna happen. All right. So you know what I just did? I just did all right. So you're rubbing off of me, Jill.
All right. So.
You should drive the 21 Frontier before reviewing the 22 model. I did. I've driven every Frontier last 3-4 years. They keep sending me those. I love the Frontier. Big fan of it. I'm concerned about the 2022 model. I don't know if that powertrain is just enough to put me over. The powertrain's great, and I don't know. The Frontier, I mean, again, talk about GM falling behind. Nissan, holy cow. The Titan's got a new front grills, and it's got a new sunroof. And it's got a new center stack, a little bit of infotainment. That's basically what it has. And the Frontier's got the new powertrain plus new looks. But I saw a story today saying that they're delayed building those even further because of the ongoing semiconductor shortage. So, I mean, a company getting, and they're still embroiled in that Carlos Ghosn stuff. I mean, what was the news the other day? 2 berets or former Green Berets were sentenced in Japan, or arrested, or like pled guilty in Japan for smuggling going out in a suitcase. Yeah, yeah. I know it's been kind of crazy. That's what's going on there. So, what's my third topic? Third topic was you.
Third rows.
Yes, was Jill. I want to make sure I include Jill in conversations. As she says, she gets more SUVs than I do. But Jill spends a lot of time in third rows, and I just was editing her video she did on a Grand Cherokee L, during which you had somebody who was slightly taller than you in the back seats.
I did, and so I don't think this is a driving impression, so I feel perfectly comfortable talking about it. I've already put TikToks out about it, but I had Mario Holmes, who his title is weird. It's like vehicle responsible, and I don't know what that means. But he was 6'4", is 6'4". He's still alive. But he's 6'4".
Thank God! I thought he died there for a minute.
Oh no, he is 6'4". I didn't kill him. Squashing him into the third row. And he was such a good sport. And he was like the model for the third row during the presentation. I was like, okay, you got to get into the third row, and we need a picture of us. And then we need a picture of us turned into, I need a video for my video with, pickup truck talk. And I'm like, then I also need to do a TikTok. I mean, I stuffed this guy in the back seat for probably a solid 45 minutes. And he was a very good sport. And it was hot outside, and he was sweating, and he was just a very good sport. But he fit. That is the point of that. He fit in the third row. His knees did pop off the seat bottom, probably, it was actually probably like that. It was probably 6 to 8 inches. But the cushion of the seat is so soft that the pressure that you put on your tailbone from the elevated point of your knees, I don't think that's going to be a problem. And he said that he spent a lot of time in the third row because they're like, hey, climb back there again, will you? And because they tested how you climb in there. They tested how your knees fit, how the leg room was, how the headroom was. And he had an inch between his head and the ceiling. And, his shoulders, the width of his shoulders fit. And, there is both of us sitting back there, and we weren't bumping shoulders. So, granted, I'm small. But two, I don't know that you would put 2 6'4" guys back there, but you could definitely put 2 average-sized adults back there, and they will be reasonably comfortable. And there's USB ports, there's cup holders, there's Easter eggs back there, there's a place to set your phone. And so, yeah, okay, you're kind of stuck back there, but you're not, like, as they like to say, you're not in the penalty box. So I have to say, if I were going to make a judgment, this is probably the best third row seat of a non-minivan. I will say, even including minivans, this is the best third row seat I've probably sat in.
And the other thing you pointed out you missed was they scalloped the roof to allow him to have extra headroom. So they actually made that happen. So is this Grand Cherokee L, is that like a Tahoe competitor? Like Yukon competitor?
Yeah, they're calling it a full-size vehicle. I was thinking it was mid-size, but then I was like rereading the materials, and they're calling it full-size. And so I would say, yeah, they're probably more like a Tahoe competitor. And then when you get the Grand Wagoneer, which is coming out and will be body on frame and larger, I would say that's probably more of the Suburban.
Okay, so yeah. You're saying this is better third row room than a Tahoe?
Yeah. And more comfortable. Like the Tahoe, come on, let's be honest. Those seats are crappy. And I had another word that I had to use, but I do not need to use expletives on YouTube to get us, in YouTube jail. But it is a poopy third row seat. It feels like you're sitting on cardboard. You feel a little bit crunched. The legroom is not that great. I mean, my knees were kind of like maybe an inch from the back of the seat. And I can't even imagine, a 6'4" dude getting back there. I can't. And I mean, I had plenty of headroom, but again, it would be, I would love to see a 6'4" dude sitting there, and it will not be the same. I did not enjoy the third row of the Tahoe or the Yukon or the Escalade. I'll just put that out there.
Okay, so what is the worst third row, in your opinion?
That's easy. And we already have a video on that, too. That is the new Mitsubishi Outlander. That is a small SUV to have a third row. And they're like, oh, but it's an occasional third row. And I'm like, this is an unusable third row. And I had to move the middle row all the way forward just to be able to put my foot like sideways, into the little slot so that I could, kind of, squeeze my way into that third row. And I think in the video, I'm like, no, the only way I'm going to be comfortable in this third row is if I turn myself sideways and just prop my feet on the seat, because trying to fit them down between the seat and the seat back, I mean, it's just like, I had to do this weird thing with my feet to get them down in the crevice, but it was not good. It was not good.
Well, it seems like, though, more and more they want to take these mid-sized SUVs and do a third row seat in the back.
Well, I mean, it gives them a talking point. It's an occasional third row, and I'm like, for who? Somebody who doesn't have legs. That's who, because I'm small. And if I cannot fit my feet in there, like my niece, who is 13 years old, has bigger feet than I do. I mean, surprise, but she would not fit back there.
Yeah, so Elliot says, has to be the Lexus RXL. Ooh.
I can fit in the RXL third row without going like this.
Really?
Yeah.
I will say this, that I don't spend a lot of time in third rows, and having Jill on the channel, we cover third rows a lot more than I thought. Yeah, it's one of those things that's pretty interesting. I'd never thought about third rows very much. But so this brings a question though: if Jeep goes Grand Wagoneer and finally has a true 3-row SUV, and this I get asked this on the channel quite a bit. Does Ford then bring back the Expedition? Does Ford bring back the big? So it used to be not Expedition. What's the word for it? They have the Expedition. It's the one bigger than Excursion. Oh yeah. So the Excursion was a suburban competitor, and so it's like that's what I'm saying, folks. The market is so interesting. We have all these electric trucks coming out, hybrid trucks coming out, and we still have body on frame 3-row large SUVs that still bring a lot of money in the automakers. That's what's about Chevy falling behind, is that you have Grand Wagoneer coming out, you have Grand Cherokee L, that's where the market is right now today, and GM seems like they're off in the future world, and they're not paying attention to what's going on today. Excursion. Sorry, I said Expedition, I corrected myself. Excursion. So the big 3-row Excursion, this thing used to be like the size of a bus. My friend had one, and the doors open like this. I mean, the thing is just massive. It's like you can do a full sheet of plywood without having any sort of problems pulling those seats. And yeah, people are. We have a friend on the channel. I can't remember his name on top of my head, but he writes for an overlanding magazine, and he had a diesel Excursion that he would camp with. He actually lived in the thing because it was that big. You put a mattress in the back, and you're basically camping the whole time. So it is interesting to see that their automakers are starting to pay attention. I mean, Stellantis has been like way behind the ball on getting a 3-row out there, 3-row body on frame out there for a long time. It's been way behind. They had Durango, which you made a point in your video that there was it was a Durango or wasn't a Durango. I don't.
Not the Durango. So, I mean, it was really funny because I was watching some of the other TikToks from people who were on waves before me. And literally, I think it was Kristen Shaw's video. Every comment was, that's just a Dodge Durango. That's just a Dodge Durango. That's just a Dodge Durango. And so I literally went to the guys and I said, hey, I know this is not the Dodge Durango, but I need you to speak the words. And so they're like, no, this is not the Dodge Durango. And the platform of the Grand Cherokee L is completely new, and it is purpose-built for electrification. So, I mean, a platform for electrification is going to be different than something that is not built for electrification. It's just going to be different because you've got to figure out where the battery is going to go and how all of that stuff works. And so it's not the same. It is not just a rebadged Durango.
So, and you crawled around it, you checked it out. Here's my question for you. And again, it's embargo tonight at 10 p.m. Mountain Time, so midnight Eastern Time. Without saying driving impressions, that's embargoed. Were you impressed with the interior?
Yes. And so here's the thing: I managed to see, and I don't know which trim it was. I didn't go around to the back to see, but I did see one trim that had the cloth interior with a smaller screen, and I wasn't disappointed. I thought that the cloth seats and the smaller screen worked very well with the design. They keep the bejeweled gear shifter, so that gear shift is in all of the trims, and so they didn't cheap out and put a poopy plastic thing in there, and that's gonna be my word of the evening, poopy. They kept the details, and even though they downgraded the trim level and the materials, like the details are still good and the materials are still good, even though it's not Napa leather. And so, I saw that. I did see the High Summit trim, which has the quilted, padded, ooh and ah factor to it. And they have a quad zone climate control, which I would have loved as a kid, frankly, because I'm always cold and everybody else in my family is always warm. And so I'm the odd man out shivering under a blanket in the car. But this quad zone climate control allows passenger on this side and passenger on this side to set their climate. So this person could be at 68 degrees and I could be at high heat with a heated seat. So, so that you can go all in. And I think the pricing has been announced. I did see that that press release from I think a couple weeks ago. But the top trim, I think all in is about $68,000. And that'll be, I think, about where the Grand Wagoneer then will take over.
Yeah, because I think the Grand Wagoneer was $100,000, wasn't it?
At the top end, yeah, I think you are correct.
Yeah, which is insane. I mean, you can buy a house in town for less than that. Which, yeah, it's shocking. All right, so let's see, what else is going on? You talk about Toyota Sienna. We have a whole series of minivan videos coming through. My wife got a new phone, so she's currently transferring over the videos to that. We're trying to get the Kia Carnival before we do any of the videos because I want to put them all together. Run Forest. Do you? It's a guy in the comments. Says,
I was like, Run Forest.
Run Forest. Yes, it is. It's Run Forest. You got it.
Run 6 miles today, which
right.
is another reason for the hat, but
Run Forest. He says,
I don't understand what you're saying.
I was trying to spell out what his name was. These guys get all creative in their names. Do you folks think we'll see a really good deals in trucks once chip shortage is fixed? No. There are a lot of vehicles sitting in the fields waiting to be finished. No. I mean, I was talking to my friends at Toyota, and they said, usually with the Tundra, we have a month supply on dealer lots. We are on single-digit days. And so until the lots get overflowing with supply and until demand really drops, it ain't going to happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see dealers doing anything. I see dealers marking stuff up. I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of photos coming in of $5,000 market, what do they call it, market reality upcharge. I mean, and dealers are like, I've heard stories in the forums and people saying, I was with my dealer and he said it'd be $5,000 more, and I said that's BS. He goes, see you later. He's like, I'll get it elsewhere. My uncle was on the phone with a dealership in eastern Nebraska trying to buy a new truck. And while he's on the phone, the website refreshed and they increased the price.
It's like, you missed it.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's that's what's happening right now. I have legit at least 7 offers to buy my truck from people right now. And I will probably fix my or sell my truck in August, September, because there's no reason to keep it any longer. And I will be truckless without my Swede until December, until we buy the new Tundra, because it is so hot right now. It'd be stupid not to sell my truck. It'd be just stupid because get the money out of it. So I don't see that going down anytime soon. It's gonna happen. It's just the way the market is going. It's just what's going on, guys. So Trailblazer review coming out this week. Nissan Armada review coming out this week. Grand Cherokee L. I'm trying to think what truck news is coming out. I haven't seen any truck news lately. GMC Canyon is getting refreshed as long as Chevy Colorado, but they're looking at 2023 again. Like I think General Motors taking the year off. I think that's what they're doing. I think they're gonna take the year off.
They're on hiatus.
Yeah,
they're still doing COVID protocols. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really strange. So I mean, everything is supposed to be updated this year. It's going to be pushed next year. So that's what it's going to be. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
How is that all you've got?
I don't know. My partner in crime in Chicago there is supposed to be carrying the way a little bit and dropping the ball here. What do you got, girl?
We could go back to third rows.
Yeah. So what else about third rows don't you like? Or like
Kia Sorento.
I have it right now. My kids love it.
The third row, they love the third row.
Well, my 9-year-old got back there and immediately got back there and sat down. Here's the thing with kids in third rows, is that kids in third rows think it's fun. They think it's different. They want to sit all the way in the back.
Okay, yeah, it's fun, it's different, but I challenge you to drive to Denver with him sitting in the third row, and then I want to know how he feels.
They love it. I've done that stuff with them before. They do. They just, I mean, it's unique, it's novel, it's a different thing. I mean, that's what I like. That's what I like for that.
So, like 2 hours in that seat, they would be totally cool with it. 4 hours round trip, right?
Depends where we're at in Denver. Denver's usually like 3 hours, so 6 hours round trip. But yeah, okay. I mean, they like it. They just. But here's a problem with third rows, is that my 11-year-old and 9-year-old both want to get in third row, because it's different, right? But then they constantly hit each other in the third row, and you can't actually do anything about it. It's so far away from you, and you feel like pulling over. It's
right.
It's
Don't make me pull over.
Oh yeah, it's what you do all the time. It's like our biggest thing is, does the car have Wi-Fi? That's our biggest thing. And the Kia Sorento I have today, or I got yesterday, I drove it today around a little bit. The Sirius XM has not been updated, and so it still has a preview on it. Talk about auto journalist problems. That's the most annoying problem, when the Sirius XM is not working.
Yeah, I had that actually in the Durango Hellcat, and we drove to and from Indianapolis last weekend. And, my husband and I do not agree on music. We can usually agree on pop rocks because there's some middle ground there. But he kept, changing it to old rock stations, and I'd change it to, the teeny bopper top 40. And so we're, fighting over it. And finally I turned on a podcast, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're sleeping. Go back to sleep." Go back to sleep and let me listen to my NPR podcast. Buzz off.
Yeah, I mean, that irritates me. The sprinkler system hit the Kia Sorento as well. So now the entire side has water droplets on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So here's the problem with the third row in the Kia Sorento. Again, talking about purpose-built platforms, this is purposely built for a electrification, agenda, because they have the gasoline powertrain, the hybrid powertrain, and they're coming out with a plug-in hybrid powertrain. So in the back, there's a step that's 6 inches. So where you would normally have maybe this much of your knees off the bottom of the seat, you're literally sitting like this. in the third row. That's why I don't like it. I'm sitting in the fetal position in the third row because of that big step, because that's where the battery pack goes, is under that step. I may have even tripped into the back seat a couple of times because I was just like, oh, let me go back here, boom, because I hit the step. But no, I mean, I would put that on the list of not excellent third rows.
Yeah, I mean, he just immediately crawled to the back. Now I had to put down the seat. It says it's a 60-40 split in third row, so I put on the 60 portion. And I left 40 up, and then that's immediately where we went to, because his golf clubs went in the spot. My golf clubs in the back. We went golfing this morning with a kid. FYI, kids love riding my golf cart, so that's how I get them a golf course. Yeah, I should really do a review of my golf cart. It's this thing, and I'm like, it's just a golf cart. It's not anything that impressive, you know. It's not like what's going on there. I'm trying to think what else.
How many horsepower?
Do I even know? I don't know if I even know. It's like probably 30 or 40. I mean, it's a gasoline powered, but it's like it's maybe a half horsepower, 3/4 horsepower gas engine. The problem I have with it is I can't see the bottom of the gas tank, and so I keep pulling over to fuel gas in it because I'm not sure how much gas I have left. So I need to wire in a gas gauge with the sender unit, and I just haven't done it yet. I think in this winter when golf is over, I'll trailer the golf cart to the house and I'll add my additions to it.
A Hemi engine? Is that what you're putting in?
I thought about putting a turbo in it. Yeah. I don't know if I told you this. The crazy part with this, the golf cart goes 19.5 miles per hour. It's governed at that speed because early back in 1960s they thought that 20 mile per hour was really excessive. So they made 19.5. And the stock golf cart when you buy it for a fleet like the golf courses have, they go 15 miles an hour. I will tell you this. The 4.5 mile per hour difference is stupid crazy. It's like drag racing down the fairway, and I'm like, later. Whoop. But I'm only going 4 miles an hour faster. But in a golf cart, it feels like it's 25 miles an hour faster. It is kind of crazy. It is a gas. I bought the gas. I bought the gas really because I knew my kids were not going to ever charge up the battery, and I knew they'd leave it on empty for a dear old dad, and I figured it'd be easier to put gas in it. They're like 14. Yeah, they're like 14. Is it 4? Yeah, 14. Yeah, it's stupid how little it has. It's just, I don't know. It's fun. That's what I got for you guys this week. I don't have a whole lot else. We talked everything on topic. Yeah. That's what we have.
Wait, you're speechless?
I'm getting tired. I'm down 5 pounds. I've been dieting pretty good this last week, and it is. And Joe's been noticing. I've been riding my bike. I've been walking. I've been doing lots of stuff, and I'm trying to keep it more active. Trying to be more active. Trying to less crown and be smarter. But it does this time of night. I get a little tired. I was gonna say, coming up week, I'm going to South Dakota, going camping. That's the last trip of the Ford. We'll be towing that trailer down to, or no, that's in July. July, I'm going camping. That's the last family camp trip will be in July. That means August I can sell the truck. We have save the date coming up for Hyundai Santa Cruz in the first part of August. South Dakota camping in 2 weeks, and then 4th of July. Summer's almost getting going.
It's almost getting going. I know, and I just would like to point out to you again, it was another beautiful 74-degree day here in Chicago.
I love summer, and I'm usually outside a lot in summertime, hence my red face. Although I did buy a big hat.
Floppy hat? Yeah,
for the golf course, because I'm tired of the damn comments on this channel. But I will tell you, when it's 100 degrees out, I'm in here. I'm just goofing around online, playing a video game, doing whatever I can to kill time because it's just too hot. It's just too hot. Yeah. Do you think Chrysler would bring back the Aspen? No. The Aspen doesn't make sense right now. It doesn't make. Did you ever drive the Aspen? Aspen was it was a nice vehicle,
And it was like 3 model years.
Yeah, it just wasn't. It didn't make a lot of sense. Well, will you review the Toyota Cross? Are you guys interested in Toyota Cross? Comment if you are. Are you interested in Toyota Cross? Jill, did you do something for your channel?
I did film it. I haven't posted it yet. So
Okay.
I've like I said, I've been running from fire drill to fire drill this past week. So I haven't
Yeah.
had a chance to post it yet. But I covered it. I did a video for my channel, so probably in the next week or so, I'm going to try and get that up. Just taking a look. We haven't driven it. We saw it in Texas at the HQ Confidential. Shh.
Right. I think we'll do a review of it, but I don't. We didn't really cover the reveal of it because it's not like it's a weird vehicle. It's just a taller Corolla.
I think it's au contraire, mon frere. I think it is actually a smaller RAV4.
Okay.
That's my argument. I think it looks like a RAV4. It does have, if I'm remembering correctly, it has the same engine as the Corolla Sport, so it's got the up-level engine to it, but I think it only has one powertrain right now. But I think it's a smaller RAV4.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna sell. People are gonna buy it. I just don't think people are gonna. I think people are gonna buy it's gonna be this big, and people are gonna watch videos of it's gonna be this big. That's what my feeling is on it. You're gonna walk to the dealership and go, "Oh, that's different. Oh, it's got room for me. Oh, okay, I'm gonna buy it." That's what I think has happened. Run Force wants to know about the Silverado 2500 6.6 liter gas. My cousin owns one of those, and I did a review with her on the channel. Go check it out. She's a huge fan of it, and she likes it better than a diesel. Yeah. Anyways, it's hard to say that out loud. Yeah, that's what I got. All right, so I think that's it for tonight. I don't think look. We almost got a full hour like we normally do. Make sure you check us out on the website that Joe's putting a lot of time and effort into. Make sure you check us out on this channel. The channel has been on fire. You guys keep watching stuff, which is great because a lot of stuff to watch. Why are you square?
I don't know, but I've been square for the entire episode.
Sorry.
I'm like, I even commented up above. I'm like, I'm sure there's a joke there. I just don't know what it is. I'm square. I got it.
Sorry. I was watching. I ignored this box, watched the other boxes. I have 3 boxes open at once for all this live stream stuff. So you're square. I'll leave you square. Leave me square. Hip to square. All right.
Hip to be square.
As always, guys, thanks for watching. We will see you down the road.